What is going on, everyone, and welcome to an updated what I do on a day-to-day video. So out of common curiosity, a lot of people just ask me, hey, what do you do on a day-to-day in BDO? Since I am a veteran player, and unlike the newer players who just like quest and work on like your adventure journals and whatnot, what do I do in a day? So I still have goals like everyone else, but I wanted to share with you just how I go about my day in BDO. So some other goals that I have, and I like to make one of these videos like every few months as an update because things change. Obviously, my goals change. I hit some, enhances or whatnot. And yeah, so let's start off with what I would do when I log on to the game. I would do my daily chores, which is usually refresh my farms. And to be honest, I don't really know why. I guess I'm saving them for the day, like if I need more materials, and we're going to go for another tier 9 for some reason, which actually, I think in an upcoming patch, they're going to make it so tier 7 and 8 horses are going to be in the wild now, and all those lower tier, like 1 to whatever, is less common or gone. I'm not actually sure. I just kind of skimmed the Global Labs notes. But anyway, so I refresh my farms, and then we, like, maybe, depending on what I feel like doing, is grinding for an hour. And one thing I would recommend a lot of people do is the Imperial Delivery. Hold on, I'll show you how to do this in a second. You know, one quality of life thing when you're fishing, by the way, fishing in Heidel is not really profitable. I just kind of do it. I was sitting here just to make this video. But anyway, one thing, quality of life, when you're using a Creo's chair and you're fishing, you can't actually like cancel out really easily. It's like a few extra steps. So yeah, that would be nice to fix that. One thing I would recommend everyone doing is getting your cooking up to Guru, and it opens up a lot of possibilities. But Imperial crafting and delivery, everyone should do this. So you see here the number of daily deliveries. It resets on daily reset, so like 8 o'clock Eastern. And yeah, you do Guru boxes, which is straight up profit. And now that they don't have a cap on it, I think it's okay. Everyone should do it. And it's like at least a free 100 million silver every day in less than 5 minutes. And even if you were to buy it off the market, so let's say, here's what you would do. You could buy Valencia meals at this price, right? And for me, it's like 36 to do 202 crafts. So it's your contribution points divided by 2. And so yeah, you just buy them and then you turn them into Imperials and then you sell it, and then it's like 100 mil profit. But once again, before we talk about profits, it's all about how much mastery you have. So what you would be doing is putting on your mastery clothes, your Monos thing, and I should probably get this to Tet. So one thing about cooking that I do actually when I'm AFK or busy is I go cooking and alchemy, depending on if I feel like grinding this week. I'll make some elixirs. If I'm just AFK trying to contribution push, I'll do cooking. And one thing that I would say is if you are trying to boost your contribution points, the best thing to do is cook anything. So I would say grilled bird meat is one thing. It's not profitable really, but you'll use it for your workers, which is always something good. Plus, realistically, you're only going for the witch's delicacy thing, which you turn into contribution points. So I do a bit of cooking and or alchemy depending on the day. And then one tip that I would give you for anyone who's looking to push cooking a little bit, and just whether you're going for levels or your mastery, is cooking XP is what I use. So where is it? This thing, I only have a +3. I know some people have 4 and 5, but realistically, I'm like full buffed when I AFK cook, so it's not a big deal. So I use XP when I'm cooking, And then when you turn it into Imperial Deliveries, that's when you put Mastery on, and higher Mastery means more profit. But yeah, I think I value a little bit more in the XP side because that also gives you permanent Mastery as you level up. Same with every other life skill. So that's what I do for a few hours if I'm busy during the afternoon while I'm working, and I just check in every like half an hour or something. And then after we do the farms and cooking, we'll do maybe an hour of grinding if I feel like it. So ever since they came out with the Marnie realm, that's pretty awesome. I do think they actively or intentionally made the Marnie realm slightly worse than if you weren't grinding the like your regular non-Marnie realm, because I noticed in a lot of spots they block off like some of the big pulls, so you're getting like 1 or 2 less pulls per rotation. However, you do get the freedom of not getting an interrupted grind, so I think overall it's worth it. And yeah, I think it's worth it. It's not really a big deal. And then after that, what do we do after we grind and do some life skilling? It really just depends on what else we feel like doing. If we feel like enhancing that day, I've been trying to push for a Tet Monos and Tet Monos cooking clothes and have literally nothing to show for it except Pry and 1 durability, which doesn't feel good. So yeah, they've been giving us a lot of like XP item loot drop tables. The Heidel Ball is coming up soon, so get ready for that. The market's about to crash a little bit, and that's every year or every time they do a Heidel Ball or Calpheon Ball, I'm never prepared. Like, there are people who are like, okay, I gotta save up 150 billion silver. I'm gonna get this Pen Black Star. And well, luckily for me, I got mine before it. But usually people who are trying to hit some super rare item, they'll try to do that, and sometimes it goes and sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, after that, a little bit what I've actually been doing is trying to push the ecology. For me, I do want to go for the 30%, but man, that is like the most tedious thing. And so yeah, 30% is kind of a lot. So one day I'm just gonna sit down and start doing a lot of the ecology, and it's like at this point it's really just random things because I've been playing for a while and I have a lot of them, but at the same time there's stuff that I'm just like halfway done and I can't really be bothered to go back. So there's a lot of stuff I'm done with, but a lot of stuff here I'm just like, Olins is not really the easiest thing to do. I should probably do Thornwood a little bit later. And yeah, still stuff I could finish up. So what I've been doing is contribution and energy pushing a little bit. I've also slowly, since we have the event going on, been grinding a little bit every now and then as well for XP and money. So I've been swapping it up every day, trying to do a different spot, whether I need some certain materials, money, or I'm just trying to push XP at this point. I don't know why. I think, honestly, past 61, the passive bonuses you get are so irrelevant to the point where if I'm getting 65, it's really just a number to show your friends and be like, 65, and even then, no one cares. It's just one of those personal achievements. But yeah, I think the highest, like 60, 61 is where most people get, and then that's where it's like you can get all your skills and everything. So a few other things that I would do on a daily is probably like I do rift bosses, and are they really worth it? I feel like every year rift bosses go down in value because obviously inflation of everything, and they come out with new things to make it so rift bosses are less relevant. But I think maybe one day they'll revamp rift bosses to, not give you those garbage accessories that sit on the market. One thing I would like them to do is if they took out everything and revamped all the rewards from rift bosses and either just gave you straight up silver. Capra stones is like the new thing, which they do give with the certain bosses that give dust. But I think more Capra stones, even if they don't change it, increase the rate of Cron stones that you get from the Rift bosses from like 7 to 10 to maybe like multiply that by 5. And then even then, at what? The hardest max, you get like 10 Rift bosses a week, right? And at the very most, you get like what? Maybe 300 to 400 Cron stones. That's not going to break the economy at all, especially with the rates things are going. And then let's see, what else do I do on a daily? Every now and then, I actually recently made a video of my nodes and like CP, storages, everything. So I like to spend some time to look at every region of my, or like each zone, and then look at the nodes and be like, do I really need this? And then if yes, then I keep it. If not, I'll take it and shift things around. So recently what I've been playing around with is a node right here. And this is really one of those things I'm going for titanium and vanadium ore. And is it good? Not particularly good. The reason why I'm getting it is because I feel like I need it for something. And, well, it's actually, I think it's monos crafting. But, yeah. So, I look at my nodes, go grind. And sometimes I enhance life skill. So, that's basically what I do in a nutshell for BDO. But I actually, one thing I want to do more, if you have any suggestions on what you guys want to see in terms of videos, sometimes I'll PvP, do my daily RBF, and then I've actually been getting into, or getting back into node wars and stuff. So I would merc with other guilds because my guild is like, it doesn't do it much anymore. So that's another thing. If you're an NA and your guild needs a merc for PvP and just node wars, it doesn't matter what tier, I'm happy to join in and just hit me up on Discord. That's what I guess people do all the time. So, yeah, now that DKs are good, I feel like I would be more relevant in Node Wars. If you need some mercs, feel free to hit me up. And, yeah, so what else do we do? Oh, yeah, we go gathering. And here's some of the goals I've been working on. Obviously, we've been cooking. I want to try to push Guru like 14 and 15 really soon. So gathering is just really one of those slow life skills that's gated by energy. And yeah, maybe one day at the Calpheon Ball next year or the Heidel Ball upcoming, they'll be like, hey, we're gonna buff life skills, Copium. But, you know, I don't, honestly, gathering is just one of those calming things that I do at late at night when I'm done with my other activities. And it's just really, what's the word? Not therapeutic, but just calming, and something I zero stress, press R, go in circles, watch a movie or something, watch TV. So yeah. In terms of other life skills, is anyone interested in seeing like sailing and bartering? Because I know that's kind of like it's unique. It's not the most interesting, but it's complex enough to the point where some people would get confused. It's a lot of doing dailies and whatnot, but I think sailing and bartering is kind of also calm and fun, but I know that's definitely not for everyone. So I think maybe in the future, what I'll do is make a video on how I make silver. And honestly, that one is like, I don't know. People do their own things to make silver, but what I do is just play the game. And I don't make billions a day, but if I wanted to just sit there and grind like 6 or 7 hours a day on a free day, I probably could make billions, but I just like doing everything. That's what keeps me from burning out from this game. Just trying different life skills and learning new things every day. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it. A lot of stuff I do on a daily is pretty much everything. So if you guys have any questions on how do I do X life skill, what kind of spots are good for grinding or anything, feel free to ask. because I've tried everything at least once. So with that said, thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you got an idea of what I do on a daily, grinding all the life skills. I don't know, node management, CP pushes, rift bosses, and everything else. But with that said, check the link in the description if you are interested in other guides. There's a playlist for everything 2022 that I've done, and maybe you'll find something that interests you there. And with that said, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a fantastic day.